So you mentioned a few times in your book that despite the level of education people might have, few have the language to explain how they love and like to be loved. And I know this might be a big question, but what will be ways for listeners to start learning this language better, to discover and learn how they love and like to be loved?
I mean, you really set me up for a little promo moment. I didn't want to do this, guys. I was completely set up. But if you go to thegameofdesire.com/workbook, it takes about 2 hours to do. It's absolutely free. And it's all my favorite quizzes and assessments. So, for example, are you familiar with your love language?
Yeah, so Dr. Gary Chapman, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I've read that book a while ago, yeah.
Do you know what yours is offhand?
It's 101, having 101 time with someone. That's mine. So it's quality time. Yeah, that was, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I think what's wonderful about love languages is it's basically our first universal language or glossary of terms to explaining how we like to be loved, our intimate connections. And that is an entry point for us to be like, wow, when you have a word, how much power is in that? And I really emphasize this by asking people to explain to someone how they like their coffee or tea made. And people can usually get very specific. I need it to be steeped for 3 minutes. I need 2 bits of sugar. I need a dab of soy milk. Like, it's a really specific process in order for someone to successfully do something. And anything in life, if you want someone to do something effectively, to do it well in the way that you like, you need to have clear language, clear universal language that you can explain and that they can understand. And when it comes to love, that applies as well. But unfortunately, we don't have those terms, again, because we don't learn about love in school. We don't learn about intimacy as we get older. And we're not even encouraged to do our own self-education. People have very abstract ways of explaining fairly simple things. And so, for example, knowing you're anxiously attached can create so much understanding, can lift the veil of fog that would be over why it is that you get so worked up in relationships when you don't get a call back. But when you have that language and you can effectively describe that to someone else, it's like empowering them to make the perfect cup of coffee or tea for you, because now you can provide step-by-step instructions. So language is such a very, very big tool, and it's very overlooked in the space where we are told communication is the most healthiest thing you can do in a relationship. Communication is key. And I'm like, well, what do people say? You know, it's one thing to tell them to talk, but you're not giving them the language. You're not giving them the resources to have constructive conversations. So people end up saying things like, I don't know, I don't know where you are. I don't trust you. And then it's like, well, you don't trust me. And now we're in an argument where in actuality, what I need to say is, look, when I grew up, I had parents who were not available consistently, and they, in essence, developed an anxiety in me in which where I don't know where somebody is, I tend to get very worked up. I'm trying to work on that. And as I do that, I could actually use your help. So that little text, that little check-in text that seems innocuous to you, I totally understand. But to me, that's the difference between a night where I can relax and a night where I'm absolutely worked up the entire time. So please, do me a favor. As I work through my attachment style, please assist me in doing this thing for me. So I just think that language can set us free, create so much better communication, and ultimately improve our relationships exponentially.